All right, outstanding. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 3 of 7 podcast. We're glad you're here. It's been quite a morning. We have our friend with Macademic Media in the house today, our brother Drake. If you don't know Drake, there it is right there. If you don't know Drake, Drake is the videographer and the producer of the 1 Mile Out film on YouTube when we did the Cocodona 250 last year. He is also the editor of Paranormal Land Cruiser Experiences or Experience. It's a series of experiences, but he's the main editor for that show. He is the best in the business, and he's capturing some behind the scenes with us here at 3 of 7 Project. Has been for the last 2 days, so that's going to make an awesome video. Drake, thank you for being here with us today, man. Yeah. So we're excited about that. And this morning for Team PT, we did can you call that a triathlon?
I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Because Chili said try just means 3. So we did 3 things.
Yeah.
So we did a triathlon. I just feel off about calling it a triathlon because we have one team member that can't swim. We have another team member that is scared of getting in the cold water. So we cut out all the water components of our triathlon. And I just don't know how we can call a triathlon, but if it doesn't have a swim in it. But that's what we're calling it anyways.
Well, swim ain't got nothing to do with it. You see?
Well, yeah, I get it. Try just means 3.
Yeah, an athlon means athletic events. So it's just 3
athletic events.
athletic events.
Well, it fits that, man.
We did it.
We did it.
Tell them what we did.
We started with 50 push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did a bike ride. I don't know how long the bike ride was, a couple miles, I guess. And then we did a run, a couple miles, I guess.
Yeah.
But I have a lesson I wanted to share with you guys that I learned this morning as I was crushing chili and cornbread as usual. It was not even close, by the way. It was not even remotely close. That was really sad, man. You guys will get to see all this on film, but when I came off the bike, because I have clipless pedals, I had to wear specific shoes to ride my bike during the bike portion. So I had to come in and do a shoe change. And when I did that, I changed out of my bike shoes into my Salomon XA Pros, which, by the way, Salomon XA Pro is probably the best all-around adventure shoe that's ever been made. If you just want a shoe that can do it all, from running to working out in the gym to trekking or backpacking, the Salomon XA Pro is the shoe that does it all. Again, just like anytime you have a Swiss Army knife style piece of gear, it's not the best at anything, but it's pretty dang good at everything. So I changed into my XA Pros, and these shoes have a drawstring shoelace. You don't tie them. You don't lace them up and tie a knot. So I did the drawstring shoelaces on both shoes, and usually you'll take the excess of the shoelace and you'll roll it up, and then there's a little pocket that you tuck it into the tongue of the shoe to keep it out of the way. Well, I was in a hurry this morning. For some reason, I was light years ahead of Chili at this point, but I figured he was going to be able to catch me or gain ground at least on the run, which didn't happen. But I decided I needed to get this shoe change done quick. So I changed into these shoes, and I didn't roll up and tuck in the excess shoelace. I was like, I got to save time, right? And so I started my run, get out onto the road, and I'm putting the hammer down, man. I'm feeling good. I'm just laying back these 5-minute miles. And one of the loop, the excess loop on my left shoe looped around the toe of my right foot and literally sent me just full barrel into the pavement.
Where did you fall? You fell down on the road?
Oh, yeah, on the road. That's why I have...
So you made it a good ways and then just...
Yeah, I have a bloody elbow.
Yeah.
Palms of my hands. This one got all cut up. They're going to be bruised. They're still sore because I went down. Obviously, I caught myself with my hands on that pavement. And it daggone hurt. And so then I had to get up off the daggone ground, and then I had to take the time to tuck my excess shoelaces in like I should have did up at the top of the hill when I put the dang shoes on. So if you haven't drew the lesson from this yet, here's the lesson. Take the extra time to do things right instead of being in a hurry and just halfway doing it. Because like this morning, what happened to me, I decided to do my shoelaces halfway because I thought it was going to save me time. And it actually ended up costing me more time and also pain. So take the time to do things right. When you're there, take the extra step, freaking tuck your shoelaces in, and then start your run. Because overall, you're going to have a better outcome if you will do that. So, of course, I know this, but, you slip, man. You even the things that I know to do things the right way, and it's going to pay off in the long run. But I didn't do that this morning, and it was a very blunt reminder of that lesson. So hopefully that applies to some of you guys that are listening this morning. How was the triathlon for you guys? That was hard, man. That was hard for me.
Mine was really a diathlon.
Biathlon.
Duathlon.
Duathlon. Because I stayed on the bike. I went the wrong way.
Yeah, I noticed that. I kept looking for you, and I was like, where the crap is Cornbread? I hope he's all right.
I went the wrong way, and then when I realized I was going the wrong way, made a turn, I was trying to get it even harder. And I say the van about hit me, but really, as I thought about it on the way,
hit the van.
I about hit the van, not really paying no mind. You know how it's got them speed bumps through there?
Yeah.
So I was trying to center the speed bumps, and I was paying more attention to that. Next thing I know, this van was pulling out of this camping spot, and I about ate the side of it. Like literally about hit it.
So you went up around the campground.
I went past the campground
Yep.
and went around that turnaround down yonder. And I said, well, I don't think the campground's got a road in it. After I about hit the van, I even went up in there to make sure there wasn't another road. And then when I shot out is when Brooks' daddy stopped me. And then I didn't see you until after he drove off.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh yeah, I clearly went the wrong way.
Corn, how did you go the wrong way, man? There's literally, it's a straight road. There's two options to turn. What did you not clarify the route ahead of time?
No, I didn't. I immediately assumed that our last bike ride that we was taking that left and that paved road went on. I never went that way when we had the first race. I thought that road carried on for a good ways, but it don't.
So what's the lesson here, Cornbread? What's the lesson you took away from this?
Be more clear at the beginning.
If you don't understand something, ask a question, man.
I understood it at the beginning. That was the route I was going. That was my understanding until I learned once I passed that campground, this ain't the right way. But what was interesting about your story is during the push-ups, you even spoke out loud when you stopped one time. Hey, I'm gonna pace myself.
Ease into this, yeah. Because we go into these triathlons, it ain't like we warm up. I just walk out of the house, literally out of the bed, out of the house, and we just do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, think about how much faster you rode than me, because I got off them push-ups with a good lead.
A good lead.
A real good lead.
And then you came into the bike way ahead. That bike was a disaster.
Dude, why didn't you bring your freaking old school
Centurion.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
fast on that thing, man.
Well, yeah, man. The bike. Yeah. Yeah.
You're fast on that bike. Do you still have that bike?
Oh yeah. If we ever do an Ironman one day, I'm gonna do it in that bike. I slap won't do an Ironman if I'm not on that bike.
I mean, you're fast at it. I don't know how good it'd be in the hills because it probably doesn't have much gearing, but
Oh yeah, it does.
so once you got back out to the main path and I passed you and you realized you went the wrong way, what did you do from there, CB?
I went down to the road y'all did, and of course I didn't have time to clarify in passing y'all. I knew I was going to stop at a gate, so the first gate I got to, I come around and come back.
Well, that's close.
And then did you ride down to the bait shop?
I rode past the bait shop because I stayed on the bike and wasn't riding. So I rode.
You mean wasn't running?
It's like a pump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pump station.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I turned around at the pump station and come
So
back.
if you're ever confused about the route or you're ever confused about anything, I showed you yesterday what you're supposed to do. If you're ever confused, just scream out what's next.
Yeah. I screamed out, I went the wrong way.
Yeah, you screamed out the wrong thing.
But I'm talking like you got to scream it out belligerently.
Yeah.
That come from the bottom of your gut, son.
Yeah, because you guys weren't paying me any attention, man.
Well, you were shooting.
This was on the range. Now we've moved back to yesterday.
You were shooting that silly stage, man. What's next?
Me and Chili competed against each other on the range yesterday, and Cornbread comes up with a daggone shooting stage, which I don't even know if you can call it a shooting stage because all of those stages y'all came up with, I bet I didn't shoot 10 freaking shots yesterday. There was no actual shooting involved. But Corn comes up with this daggone stage that is just ungodly. I mean, it took like 15 minutes to get through the daggone stage, like 50 goblet squats with a 2-pood kettlebell, 90-pound plate drags for 400 straight yards.
The weights were come up by Blake. When we talked about the plate drag, I said,
"Don't you put this on me?"
I said, "Is 90 too much?" I said, "They can do one." He said, "No, not 90's fine. They can do that." and at the wall, I was going to have y'all do ball slams. And he said, "Well, we got that pood over there. They could do 50 goblet squats." I said, "You don't think that's too?" No.
Yeah. No, that's it. It's not like I have a competition coming up this weekend, so you might as well just blast me out.
Corn said, "We need to make this a long stage.
I
We
did
need
say
a long stage."
we didn't have a long
50 come
stage
from
the whole
actually
time.
50 come from Drake.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Drake. You remember you said they're gonna be doing up and down on that wall. So, how about 50 front squats or something? And
Yeah.
I said, "We got that pood."
Well,
Drake just wanted a photo opportunity is what he wanted.
I will say this in the explanation, I wasn't clear on the running. It was supposed to be around that loop.
No,
that
you was
loops
clear.
those
No, he said
pines.
the perimeter of the
You
range.
was
That
clear.
is
They
what I
just
said.
didn't ask for clarification.
No, the perimeter of the range, not the perimeter of the property.
Well,
So,
that wasn't the property. The property been way back.
anyways,
Y'all did good on it.
it was that was brutal, man. Anyways,
Well,
Yeah,
What?
who won
you
the
have to
long
watch
one?
that video to find
well, yeah,
out.
y'all
on
have to
that.
watch the video to find out about that. Chili, what happened to you on the triathlon this morning, man? What was your lesson?
What was my lesson? I don't.
Be good at push-ups? You were good at push-ups.
Yeah, I didn't really have a lesson.
Why'd you run so slow?
Yeah.
I really thought you were going to catch me on the run, man.
You had a huge lead on the bike, man. I rode slow.
Okay. Why'd you ride so slow? You could have stood up and rode faster.
Nah.
Did you lose on purpose? Because
No.
it was so bad, it
No.
looked like you lost on purpose.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was a good morning, man. You know, it doesn't really matter. So we like to do long distance type stuff. That's kind of our specialty. But these short, like sprint triathlons or like a hard 5K or something, they put a whooping on me, dude.
You do 'em right.
I'm just not used to doing something where you're just pegging your heart rate out. I mean, it's only 30 minutes, but you're just pegging your heart rate out, running as fast as you can. Right. When you pump that bike, see, I'm not a fast mountain biker. I'm used to going long ways. But when you hammer down on that bike as hard as you can, it hurts, man. I mean, them old legs get to burning. What do they call that? Lactic acid?
Well, that's incorrect, but yeah,
Okay.
Lactate.
lactate.
Yeah.
Chad's been lactating. Have you seen him lately? You see him on the range when he was laying down, crossing his legs. He's over there lactating.
I'm just over here getting ready for turkey season, man.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all see what I got on.
What you got on?
This is Mossy Oak Bottomlands green leaf. All right.
That gonna hide you?
So I'm just getting ready for turkey season. I'm getting used to wearing my camo, getting kind of used to blending in, getting everything broke in, making sure I got my overall straps adjusted properly. That way I'm all set. When the season hits, I'm going to just be able to throw these things on, put my pot call right here. Look, that's why I bought these. I can put my pot call right here. I don't even need a turkey vest. And I'm going to be ready to rock and roll.
A true turkey thug don't
ain't no
don't
true
have
turkey.
to get ready. You just you ready.
Dude, he ain't no
You ready.
true turkey thug.
You all the time looking for gobblers.
Nah.
That's like he asked me yesterday when me and Drake was headed out. Which way'd you come? We went the way where the gobblers is. We was looking for gobblers because we all the time looking for gobblers.
You know an OG
Tell
thug
him,
when you
Blake.
see
Hey,
him. He ain't it.
CB's always looking for some private land he can slip in on and kill some gobblers.
I'm telling you, that turkey strutting on the highway on 101, son, is testing me bad.
Don't go down that road again.
CB's always looking for a piece of private
I've
land
got
he
to
can
come up
slip
with the
in on.
plan in my head. I have to ramp the speed up a little bit when I'm passing that place.
Put your blinders on when you
Yeah.
go down there.
Man, you got to do all your illegal turkey hunting at night, man. You got to let that joker fly up on the roost and go in there with a thermal, man.
I seen him fly on the roost the other day. Not only is he testing me out there strutting every time I either come here early of the morning or head home, the other evening he flew on the roost dead in front of me. Come up out of the field.
Look, Corn pulled over and watched that turkey is what happened. There's no way that he passed
Yeah, he was
at
sitting there
just at
calling
the
it
same
from the road.
I'm
time.
telling you.
There
now
ain't
you
no
sound
way
like
that
Coney.
he flew up at the same time you was passing.
By cracklies he did.
You pulled into that property and you was watching and calling and seeing how he responded, and he happened to fly up. That yeah.
Look, CB, just wait till it's turkey season. You can go in there and kill him.
There's a bunch on Barry too. If you know.
Yeah, if you hunting illegally, I mean, there's really no such thing as long as it's within the season. You can hunt wherever you want as long as the season's open.
I agree. Especially turkey hunting.
Yeah, just, you ain't gonna now if you're doing it out of season, that's illegal. But when the season opens, it's open season. I mean, it's game on. Deer, turkey, whatever,
Allie said she's on here. She said you ain't gonna kill nothing in Mossy Oak. You got to have on real tree.
What the crap? This isn't good camo?
No, she said you ain't gonna kill nothing.
That's
with
not
Mossy Oak.
early season camo.
I thought this was good camo.
No. You got to let the leaves get green before you go out there looking like a Christmas tree.
It's already greening up.
It is a little bit. The dogwoods.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to look like, a dogwood. That's what this Bottomlands is mapped after, a dogwood. Yeah. For real, man. Well, dang, Allie. I wish you would have told me that before I would have bought this stuff from.
Well, just look at the hoist bottle, man. You know what's good camo is.
Well, that's a good point.
Got a real tree on it. They got
I thought
Mosey oak.
real tree was more made for hunting out of a tree stand because it's called tree.
oh dang
Real
little
tree.
Virgil's on here.
Little Virgil, don't go anywhere. I'm about to give you my phone number. You gonna call out? You about to call? We about to hear from Little Virgil. Look,
mossy oak is a oak tree.
yeah, but moss grows on the ground.
Spanish moss grows in trees.
Wow.
No, it's talking about ground moss.
Mhm.
So you turkey hunt from the ground. So when I heard mossy oak, I thought it's like out where we hunt. There's at the base of the oak trees. There's moss.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, this camo is designed to hunt from the ground, leaning up against the oak tree, blending with the tree and the moss. When I looked at real tree, I thought real tree. This is made from hunting from a tree stand.
Yep.
So was I wrong about that or?
No, I'm with you.
Okay. They tell you what it's for in the name.
Well, I just use Sitka.
I'm just gonna say you're way behind if you're just learning all this right now.
Blake's just
Look,
rich.
You're broke. If you wearing mossy oak, it's because you're broke. Man.
Have y'all ever heard the story of me and Cornbread's first turkey hunt? Have we ever told that on the podcast?
I've heard it, but I don't think the listeners have.
Corn, will you tell us that story, man?
Well, we had this small.
By the way, if any of this is illegal, just know it was done by accident. So, and it was seasoned. So,
Well, the statute of limitations is over
that's
anyways.
gone.
Okay,
That's
good.
gone. So Chad and Blake had a small chunk of land, about 40 acres to hunt.
we called it the 40
we
acres.
called it the 40.
North 40.
So me and Chad go out there, and I remember I had it was Chad's gun, a New England single shot 10 gauge, a house of a shotgun. I'm talking about a house shotgun. We go out,
weighed 30 pounds.
we go out there of the morning, our first turkey hunt. We hit the old hoot owl.
Why did we decide we wanted to go turkey hunting in the first place? Because we were coon hunters.
Yeah.
Do you remember
it was
why?
just a whim. It was just a whim.
Okay.
I didn't even really know anybody that had ever turkey hunted anyhow. But we had seen turkeys out there plenty deer hunting. And so we get out there of the morning, hit the old hoot owl, nothing. We go about halfway to property, nothing. We get out there and nothing. Gosh almighty, man.
About like most of Chad's turkey hunts.
You could walk that whole property in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So we all the way to the back. Well, I guess we'll ease on up front. So we started easing up front. We stopping and calling a few times. Didn't know what we was doing. We calling a little bit here and there. We get up to the front, and over on the corner of the front field, we see some turkeys.
They're in the field.
They're in the field over on the corner under some dang small pine trees.
Mm-hmm.
So we see them, we get all pumped up and excited, and we devise this plan to crawl up through this pine thicket. We get on our hands and knees and crawl about 50, 60 yards, cut through this thick stuff and get set up. And we're trying to call them over to us, And Chad says, that gun will reach that far. I said, you think so? They was a big one just standing right there. I mean, just standing there about 40 yards.
40 yards.
I raised that hoss of a gun up, son. Well, go! Rolled that fool. I'm talking about rolled him.
First turkey hunt.
First turkey hunt.
First time ever in the woods turkey hunting.
We high-fiving, hugging each other. We got it, but ain't nothing to this, son. There ain't nothing to this. We run over there, and it was a dad-blasted buzzard, son, eating on a coon. That thing was the stinkingest thing we ever lived. We looked at each other. Chad said, well, that's a buzzard.
I think when we walked up to it, we were still thinking maybe this is a turkey.
Yeah.
Turkey buzzard.
Yeah.
But
You
it,
know.
yeah.
You know.
Once you got right up on it and you really stood there and looked at it, you realized it was a buzzard.
So
that was me and Corn's first
Ain't
turkey
no
hunt.
mistaking
two
that.
dumb coon hunters first turkey. hunt.
Golly.
Yeah.
But didn't we go like the weekend after or
Yes.
and kill a turkey?
Yeah, and it was textbook. We went the weekend after, slammed the door of the truck, remember, and he gobbled. We went in the woods about 50 yards. He flew off the roost right to us. You hit a few calls right to us. You killed him. And then we went the next morning and went back through the country about a mile. This was on public land. And got one going away from us, and he topped the ridge, and we come up the ridge, and you hit the call a few times, and he come right over the top too, back to back.
And you killed that one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was Blue Car Body Road.
Yep.
Back when you could hunt all that. They don't let barely nobody hunt any of that anymore,
It's
right?
quota now. Yeah. They do 2 hunts. They draw 50 people each hunt.
That was an unbelievable place to turkey hunt back then.
Yeah.
Back then, that was before they had cut any of those trees, and it was all wood. You know, it was tight going down that road. There was thick woods on both sides.
It was all public.
Oh yeah, Blue Car Body Road. And I remember going back in there one time. I had gotten me a dog whistle.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I thought that was the thing to locate turkeys with.
Yeah.
I had read about it somewhere, and I just did away with my calls, and I went back in there blowing a dog whistle.
Remember when we took that train whistle in there?
No,
Yeah. One of us got a big old wooden train whistle, and it was about 13 inches long, and it was about the end of it was about the size of a baseball bat.
did it work?
No.
Look, see, this is how the turkey hunting started out. Corn has progressed, and Chad's still back in that time, and he's thinking, dang, where's that train whistle at, man? Ain't no way I'm gonna kill no birds without my train whistle.
Well, that dog whistle worked.
Yeah.
What did it make them do?
It made them gobble.
Dang.
And you can't hear it. It's only audible to dogs and turkeys, I guess, because the human can't hear
Dogs
it.
and turkey.
And so what was strategic about this dog whistle is on public land, obviously out there, especially, there would be all kinds of people out there hunting. So this dog whistle allowed me to locate these turkeys, and other hunters didn't know where I was at. I wasn't giving my position away by call, because when I call, you can tell it's me. I mean, you can tell it ain't a turkey. When I'm out turkey calling, I mean, if I try to call, if another hunter's within earshot, they're going to be like, okay, that's another hunter over there. That ain't a turkey. So I was constantly giving my position away as I was maneuvering on these birds, and these other hunters would cut me off. Well, when I got this dog whistle, you couldn't even hear it blow on that thing. I remember blowing on that thing one morning, man, and just like, I bet there was 6 gobblers. They were all in a clump, just blowing it up, man. Them birds gobbled out there.
Yeah.
I mean, them birds gobbled hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was it about that spot, man?
I don't know. They still do. They still
Really?
do. Yeah.
So they still in there, even
yeah.
after they cut all that. And
Yeah, they're
everything.
still in there. There's not as many of them since the coon population's exploded and the hogs has moved in there. They still gobble good out there.
Well, that was the spot to go, man.
Yeah.
I ended up killing a turkey on the 40 acres. A nice turkey.
Yeah, I remember when you killed it.
I
Yeah.
was walking down that same path, calling. See, when I turkey hunt, I like to call as I walk.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I just kind of walk and call. I remember I was walking down that path calling, and that turkey gobbled, but it was like a half gobble. And I just barely heard it. And I was like, was that it? What was that even a turkey? But I thought, well, maybe it was. So I sat down behind a brush pile, called a time or two more. It never did gobble again. And it ended up just coming straight up there and walking right in front of me. I killed it in the middle of the day.
Yeah. I remember when you killed that.
Yeah. And it was a mature bird too. So I don't know why he gobbled that little old half gobble like that.
I don't know.
But he probably didn't really want to be gobbling in middle of the day like that, but he just couldn't help himself when he heard me hit that pot call. So
He was just clearing his throat.
Yeah. Clearing his crawl out.
he come right on in there to me. That was a limb hanger.
Yeah, he was.
He had big old hooked spurs on him.
Yeah.
That was a nice bird. So yeah, I'm getting ready for turkey season. We got a competition this year between me and Cornbread. And Blake, are you in on this?
It wouldn't be fair if I was.
Well, I didn't know with you having your heart condition and all, if you still.
No, I can probably still hunt. All I gotta do is walk, right? I think I can still hunt. So I'm not gonna enter.
Are you're not in the competition?
Well, the point is just to beat you, and if I was in it, surely me and Corn, you just wouldn't have a chance. So
okay. What are the parameters for this competition? Let's go ahead and establish this because the season's coming up.
Well, you get 2 birds. Okay.
Okay.
1 stone.
We're going
I'm good.
do what? 2 birds. We're going to take the measurements from the bird according to the NWTF website. We'll put those measurements of the birds in there, and the overall score wins.
Combined score
Wins.
Okay. What do you get if you kill a turkey with a bow? You got to get extra. Like you got to, dude. You got to get.
I do agree that it is a lot harder. I do agree that it is a lot harder. Oh, what do you think, Blake? Extra points?
Well, no, I just think you're just dumb for hunting with a bow when you can hunt with a gun, and that's your own deal. So.
No, if you get a turkey with a bow, you got to do like whatever the bird scores. You got to add take a quarter of that score and plus it on or
Well,
something. I don't know.
how much is a single point weighted with the turkey scoring? Like,
Yeah,
what's
that's
an
a good
average
question.
score?
That's a good question.
I mean,
Like, is the score like 3 or like 100?
Yeah, it'll be 100 something. Yeah, so it takes.
So you couldn't do a quarter.
No, you could add like 15 points or something.
Yeah.
Well, you just add a percentage.
Yeah.
Say you're just gonna add.
Well, can't nobody here
20%.
smart enough to do a percentage of nothing.
I say you get 10% added. 10%.
Okay. 10. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you get 10% added if you
Okay.
kill one. But now here's the main thing. So that's the parameters of how you win said competition. What is it to win? I don't have nothing to lose. I'm the best turkey hunter, period.
I taught you how to turkey hunt,
I don't
man.
have anything to
I
lose.
called your first bird in
You
for
have
you.
the roles are swapped here, Bubba.
I
you
taught
have
you how to
everything
turkey
to
hunt.
gain here if you beat Cornelius Esquire the Third in the Gobbler Woods. So what is the step? If somebody loses, do you got to do something? If somebody wins, well, I mean, what do we get? Is there anything to it, or is it just ha ha, I beat you?
Well, I mean, I think everybody should throw $1,000 in the pot.
Whoa, son. Whoa.
Yeah, that'll give you a little incentive. $3,000 grand prize.
You're rich, ain't you, Chad?
Not today. I'm broke today.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, you got anything on that, Blake? Are you even entering this, Blake?
You just asked me that.
Well, what'd you decide?
No, I'm not entering it.
What the crap, Blake?
These should be the rules. You total up all the turkeys you kill over the season, and whoever's got the highest total wins.
Just kill as many birds as you can.
Well, if you wanted to go to Alabama, you get extra tags.
Well,
You went to Florida, you got extra tags.
That is a good point.
How many hens can you kill?
None.
Oh,
You
you
can't
can't?
kill hens in
No
Georgia.
hens.
There ain't none.
Yeah.
In
You
Georgia.
can kill hens in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
But I see what you're saying, Blake.
Yeah.
If you wanted to travel, I mean, I'm not doing no traveling, but
I'm not planning on that, but I'm good with that stipulation. I'm good with that rule.
I think it's total of 2 birds, like Corn said. Your 2 biggest birds.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 biggest birds.
Yeah.
Because I'm a lot busier than all you guys, so you have a lot more opportunity to travel than I do. So that would make the competition unfair. If you could go to another state and kill a third bird.
What is unfair? Because let's be clear, you have probably one of the most pristine turkey hunting habitats literally surrounding your house.
Well, that's open. That's
House.
what?
Your residence. When you walk out the door in the morning.
Oh, that is a good point.
Castle de
So,
Lower
That,
Sea.
that is a
Yeah,
little. That
Castle-
is a little advantage there. I have.
lower sea.
He has to subtract 20%
Because of the
from his-
convenience.
yeah, from his
Convenience
score.
aspect of
Convenience fee.
Corn got to drive 3 hours just to get up there.
it. Well, that's his fault for living all the way over yonder.
Well, we could do this. One can come from private land, and if you do another, it has to come from public land.
Ooh, it's not a bad rule. I also do have 7,000 acres of public land,
Connected.
walking distance of my house.
Look,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna kill no turkey with a bow. And how long has it been since you killed one with a gun?
I killed a turkey every year in Virginia with a gun, man. I just ambushed them. I'd go turkey hunt. When I lived in Virginia, I hunted one time per season because I killed a turkey every time I went. I just ambushed them.
Well, this ain't Virginia.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've killed a
We
Georgia
ain't
turkey.
doing no ambushing. Like, you got to call this booger up.
No, you kill
Well,
the
you're-
bird however you want.
If you want to deer hunt a turkey, then you put your real tree on and go sit in a deer stand and wait on him like that.
Can I hunt with a muzzle loader?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's legal, right?
Yeah. go for it.
Okay.
You need to get you some calls off of Amazon, see if they work.
No, I got
Chili,
that-
you in on this?
Yeah, I'll get me
Chad-
some
he-
Amazon calls.
Hey,
Get
Chad
in on
don't
it.
buy no poor people calls.
I
son.
know. Yeah, he
I
don't.
buy that gold digger, boy. Got that gold digger. Got to get my buddy to scratch it up for me, though. Hey, what you do to scratch this call up? Well, Corn, your predictions were that Chili was going to kill a turkey opening morning.
Yeah, he's going with me. Chili's killing the first one out of the group.
What if a show enough hoss came out of there?
Smoke him. Let it eat.
Well, hey, how's that going to work? That don't count for you.
But I must decrease. Chili can kill the turkey.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, if Chili shoots at anything, get ready for a bloodbath. Get ready for a bloodbath.
I'll hit it, but it may be in the body.
I'm gonna tell you that the story of the first deer he killed, it was awful, man. I can't hardly. After that, I've hardly been able to even go deer hunting. It was so bad.
What's wrong with you?
So just be ready.
That was a pretty standard kill. You know, I pulled it a little high because you were talking in my ear the whole time. And right when I was ready to shoot, you went Chili. And then I just pulled it a little high, and then we just went up there and cut its neck.
So you pull your rifles high and your pistols low?
Yeah, ain't that wild?
Good night. That was rough. All right. Well, welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the 3 of 7 podcast. Thank you for joining us. Little Virgil, if you're still on the line here,
He just dropped a comment, but
all right.
he's already come in at $9.99 and 99
Good
cents.
Lord,
That's what I'm
Virgil.
talking
You
about,
make him a
little Virgil.
moderator?
But he said, look, it's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna have to call you tomorrow.
No,
What?
Little Virgil, you got to call me now, Little
Call me
Virgil.
tomorrow. We
he
ain't
ain't
live.
he
We
ain't
ain't-
got time for you today.
We ain't gonna be on the daggone podcast tomorrow, Little Virgil.
He said he's got sawing to do.
All right, look, I'm gonna give y'all my phone number here.
Little Virgil's just one person.
Yeah, but I'm telling everybody that's watching this right now, if you call me and you ain't Little Virgil, it's gonna be real bad for you. All right. So let's see if we can all play by the rules here. All right.
Mhm.
Let's test this. Do not call me unless you are Little Virgil or Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Don't call me unless I told you to call me.
All right. If you're Little Virgil or Marjorie Taylor Greene, you can call me and you're going to be on the podcast. Okay. Here's my phone number 706 477 7195. All right. That's 706 477 7195. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. Again, if you are not Little Virgil or Marjorie Taylor Greene and you call me, it's not going to turn out very good for you. So we're waiting on Little Virgil to give us a call.
He's on your comment, and he said he done told everybody he ain't doing it, so he can't do it.
Little Virgil.
Virgil,
The world wants to hear from you, Little Virgil. I just gave you my dang phone number, man.
I'll tell you what else will be bad is if Little Virgil don't call in.
He said tomorrow for sure.
Virgil,
LV,
what do you not understand?
LV, we ain't on the live podcast tomorrow, man. You have to call us now.
He said he already forgot.
We've been wanting to hear from you for months, man.
I'm just waiting on this thing to blow up, huh?
Yeah, it better not blow up. It better be Little Virgil or Marjorie Taylor Greene. If that thing rings,
That's what I mean, ring.
if it rings more than
Converge.
one time, Chili's moderating the call over there. So, all right. Now, what did we title this podcast? What's this title?
Are you ready for the bloodbath?
Are you ready for the bloodbath? Boy, I tell you what, is anybody watching this, Blake? Who we got? Is that LV? See if that's LV.
They just hung up. They called and hung up. It said it was from Texas.
All right. Well, maybe he'll call back.
Yeah, we got 650 on.
We got 6. I didn't think we still had 650 people that subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Well, I think a lot of them that unsubscribed saw this. They're all on here. That you've been getting some terrible messages, comments.
Oh, so they're still here.
Yeah, they're saying how you wrong. You got bad judgment.
Thank you for still being here, guys. It's really inspiring to me that we can have a disagreement and we can still be friends. And now, Chili, you're gonna need to pay attention to this.
I am, man.
If that phone rings, you'll hear it ring. All right, because you're gonna need to add some input on this. All right.
Why me, man? I don't know.
Because you're the whole inspiration behind Truck Talk. I don't even make a Truck Talk unless you sign off on it. You tell me what to say. Y'all think that I say what I want to say on Truck Talk? I already told you everything on television is fake. Don't ever take anything that I say on television too seriously unless I'm talking about the Lord or my mama. All right? Look, Chili tells me what to say. I just get on there and say it. So you're going to have to add some input on this. But we really thinned the herd on the YouTube channel over the last, that was all yesterday.
All yesterday.
All yesterday. We really thinned it down, which is, it's great, man. I'm all about quality, not quantity. All right. But at the same time, it's inspiring to know that we can have a disagreement and we can all still be friends. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is the 3 of 7 podcast, where we get right down to the root of the issues that are plaguing your mind. All right. Now, we talked about this this comment that the great Savior Donald Trump made here recently.
MAGA 2024.
Yeah, Donald Trump 2024. About if he doesn't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country. And so I made a little video on that talking about how that's just the language that politicians use to make you emotional. And it was a poor choice of words, I thought. And it is a pretty astounding thing to say. If I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country, which is exactly what he said. It's going to be a bloodbath for the whole country.
Oh, he was talking about the auto industry.
Yeah. So I guess the country and the auto industry are one and the same. The country is the auto industry. Am I understanding that properly? Because I thought they were two separate things. I thought if you said it was going to be a bloodbath for the auto industry, that would mean specifically to the auto industry. And I thought if you said if it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole country, it meant if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole country. It's a pretty astounding thing to say. So I made that. And then, of course, everybody responds in the to the video of talking about the auto industry. So then I go and make a whole nother truck talk. I double down. Chili doubled down. Of course, it wasn't me, but Chili told me, look, you got to double down on this, Chad. So I doubled down, and we actually listened to the speech together, since I was being accused of not listening to the speech. And if you guys don't know, I'm a very passionate person. I'm very passionate. And if you don't know, I care about you, listener. All right. I genuinely care about you, listener. And when I get passionate, I want you to understand that is because I love you. All right. If I didn't care about you, I would just I just really wouldn't do YouTube at all. But I actually care. Here's the problem, man. Here's what is dangerous. And let me preface this with saying Donald Trump is the best candidate for the 2024 presidency that we have to pick from, in my opinion. Turn the volume down on that thing, Chili.
Is it this?
Yeah, it's that.
Well, nothing's popping up.
Yeah, it's going off for some reason. Just turn the volume down on it. That being said,
Dang phone.
what there are two parts of this that really stick in my craw. When you have a person who is trying to get into a powerful position, and you have a large group of the population who he will be leading, when you have a large group of the population that are behind him so hard that they literally can't see anything wrong with anything that he does, when you have a large group of people who just have elevated this person as the literal savior, and they can't actually hear what he says or is saying. They only hear what they want to hear. That is extremely dangerous. Okay? And this is the foundational element of my worry for people who have chosen to so blindly trust a man who is hungry for power, and also I would go as far as to say hungry for revenge. When there's a group of people who so blindly trust that person that they cannot even interpret his words properly, because they so blindly trust him, they will only interpret his words as they are told to interpret his words. But they won't actually interpret what he has to say. That can lead to a very, very, very ugly situation. All right? I'm not going to make comparisons with other powerful people in history who had large portions of the population who they were governing behind them, blindly trusting them to do or conduct or carry out the atrocities that leader wanted them to carry out. There's plenty of examples in history. You have to freaking check yourself when you are putting this much trust into a person who is obviously wants to be in a position of power. You cannot blindly trust them. You have got to remain critical of them at all turns. You've got to. And so this situation of the words that were used in this specific situation and the meaning behind what he said being blatantly obvious, but a large group of people not being able to interpret what he actually said in the obvious point that he made. by the literal words he used. And this large of a group of people who aren't able to recognize that, that is the thing. It's not the issue of somebody said a bloodbath is coming. Like, that doesn't bother me. It's that there's been a widespread, complete, just ignoring what was actually said. Not even what he actually, only he knows what he meant, but what he actually said. And you can only assume what he meant by what he said, if that makes any sense to you. So that's an issue, man. The following that this man has amassed that refuse to look critically at his actions, which, by the way, you should look critically at the actions of every single person who wants to rule over you, who is hungry for power. I don't care what side of the political spectrum they're on. You should look critically at every single politician that exists, and you should be equally critical of them all. We, the people, have to be willing and able to do that. And I just think it's unbelievable at the audience he has amassed that literally follow him around and have placed him on the pedestal as the savior of the United States of America. Because that leads me into the second point that worries me. And I said this in the first truck talk. I want you to understand something. There is no political solution for America. It does not exist. You thinking that there is some political leader who is going to come in and change the direction of this nation from where it's heading to a better place, that's not going to happen. Might they make some improvements in some areas in terms of policy and taxation and economics? Yes, they might make some improvements here and there, but there is no politician who is going to solve the problems of the United States of America. You want to know who can solve the problems of the United States of America? Every individual person. You, me, your neighbor. We are the answer to the problems that we are having. Will it ever happen? I highly doubt it, because what that looks like is every individual citizen has to make a decision in their lives to strive for personal excellence in all aspects of their lives. If we all, as the citizens of this country, decided we were going to be healthy, we were going to be fit, we were going to be skilled, we were going to work hard, we were going to take care of ourselves, our families, our communities, and we were going to strive for personal excellence in all aspects of our lives, guess what would happen? The pharmaceutical industries would go out of freaking business, man. All of this, all of these bureaucracies and crap and all this conglomerate of government would have zero purpose. It would have zero control over you because you're strong, you're healthy, you're fit, you're successful, you're working hard, you're caring about yourself and your family, you're leading well, you're striving for personal excellence. When you do that, you have no need for government to govern you, to tell you what to do. We are the answer to turning this country around. We're in the situation that we're in because we have decided to stay quiet for so long. That's one reason. And we've allowed these minorities to come in and plague our society with these immoral freaking ideals and progressive agendas. Progressive. How do you call most of these agendas? It's not progressive, it's digressive. But we've allowed these minority of freaking scumbags to come in and taint the fabric of our culture because we've decided that we don't have time or we don't want to deal with the freaking repercussions of actually standing up for what is right and what we believe in as Americans. And the foundational elements of our nation, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We, the people, as a majority, decided to lay flat on our back during 2020 and 2021 and just let ourselves be steamrolled. We're in the situation we're in because of us as a majority. That's why we're here. It's not because of a politician. Yeah. That's the solution. Stop elevating any man to this and having this idea that they're going to turn things around or fix your freaking problems. We're in the situation we're in because we've chosen to be lazy, unhealthy, freaking sloth. And now you understand when you make those choices in your personal life, you become a slave to the people who want to control you. The only way to become independent from them is to become excellent in all aspects of your own life and to control your own domain and lead yourself and lead your family and lead your community. That is the answer. What's going on?
I think your camera turned off, bub.
Well, that happens.
Keep going.
So, anyways, that is why I freaking give a crap about people not being able to hear what was actually said, because it's dangerous to blindly follow any man who wants to possess power. And it's also a fallacy to believe that anyone else is going to fix the problems for us. Any politician is going to fix the problem for us. We are the freaking answer. All right? Donald Trump 2024. What you got on this, Chill? Give me a little sanity check here.
Well, I just think it's worth looking at, maybe you'd call it the psychology of it. It's funny because a lot of the people who, when the media bashes Trump for things that seem silly or try to twist his words or try to make him out to be the devil, a lot of people scream at that. And if someone believes it, they get so angry at, oh, you're believing the media. But the Trump is the Christ crowd, as most of the Trump supporters will say, doesn't even exist. But
it does exist.
But both crowds of the hardcore Trump supporters, whatever you want to call them, I think you would never get any of that crowd to see how they are being manipulated by the media in the exact same way. And how they're being manipulated in the media the exact same way is, you've got this figure who, by the way, is objectively not that persuasive. There's arguments been made by high profile figures that try to understand why Trump is so popular in the support. It's not because he's that special.
It's a phenomenon.
He can talk well. He is funny. Like his rallies. I mean, I love some of the lines. It's funny, man. Like, he's a comedian.
He's pretty good at being able to evoke emotion too.
He's all right at it. It's really nothing spectacular. He was famous beforehand. He wasn't some super movie star. I mean, he was just a rich dude he's funny and he's got some interest, sure. But the reason he's so popular has nothing to do with his own personality. Very little. It has to do with the fact that he was made out to be a martyr by the media. When the media makes you out to be a martyr, they are controlling both sides.
Man, that's a good point.
They are controlling who loves him and who hates him. You only love him with the fervor that you do because he is so hated with such vitriol by the other side in the media. If they were in the middle on him, you wouldn't love him like you do. Flat out. And if they were in the middle on Trump, the other side that hates him wouldn't have to hate him that bad. That's a fact. That's why he's so polarizing, is because, like we talk about all the time, there's bigger forces at play than Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And they control you much more than the figures themselves do. No one thinks Joe Biden controls you because he's a daggum corpse. Trump might as well be a corpse too. They hate him because the media tells them to hate them. You love them because the media tells you to hate him. And there's two different types of people. There's two different sides that we come down on. They have left you no option to either hate him or love him if you fall for their programming. And you have.
Man, that's such a good point. And it's like, it leads to the foundational thing that gets me so fired up. Like, I want you to be able to think for yourself.
Can't do it.
And see things objectively. Like, that is my desire for you. Think for yourself, man, and look at things and interpret things properly.
Yeah, well, and you even see a little bit of that logic slip in to people's heads that won't ever admit that anything is wrong with Trump, that he's not perfect. You'll see a little bit of the logic slip in when they do hear someone like you criticize something like that comment, or just talk about what it actually was, not even necessarily criticize. And, it's the same thing. It's like, well, you just watch CNN. You just fall for the programming, man. Like, you can't even think objectively. And it's like, no, like, you fell for it so bad that when I don't follow, like you're so convinced that if you say anything that actually looks at it objectively, but is not overwhelmingly positive, that you've fallen for the hate fest. Yep. Like, no, I just looked at it objectively. You are so convinced that the media is so always wrong, which, yeah, they lie. I'm not taking up for the media, but you're so convinced that whatever they say can't possibly be true about the man. They hate him so bad, and they always lie. So he is literally perfect. And some people take it as far as he's the Christ. That's why they think that. That's why that psychology has happened. And that's really the same way with all these politicians that get as much shine, but nobody does as much as Trump. So that's why he's this central figure. He's just the chosen one. And from 2016 on, I can give you a tangible example of exactly how what I'm talking about played out. I don't believe that our society was ever going to resist the lockdowns, period. We just weren't going to do it. But they've talked about the plans to do that going way back. And why not create the perfect scenario for complacency by the public? And how did they do that? They got this figure. Did it need to be Donald Trump? No, man. Could have been somebody else. He ain't that special. Yeah, he's a good talker. He was a famous dude. Doesn't really matter, but he was the guy. He didn't have the love or the hate he did until the media told you how to think about him. Once they started doing that in 2015, 2016, then bam, it got going.
Yeah.
Boom, he's in office. Years and years go by. There's the clear divide. They're really stoking the hate, wait till the election year. Bam. We need these two sides of people. The side that hates Donald Trump, the side that's in love with him, to agree bipartisan to lock down and to play by the rules. So how do you do that? Well, you've got this figurehead that one side will listen to no matter what. And then we'll have the media who's calling him an idiot and have other figures within the government come out and say, no, here's what you do. Here's what you do. And we'll have that figurehead just stay quiet. Just stay quiet. Tell people, yeah, we need this vaccine. Yeah. Well, I don't agree with that. Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna defer to my medical team. Yep. So you didn't get the call to go rebel in March of 2020 like you needed from your savior. He just sat quiet. The other side was being told what to do, to lock down by the media that they love. Bipartisan. Everyone agreed.
Yeah.
We'll just lock down. Yeah, people were different, man. Everyone had different reactions. But all these people that take pride in the fact that they never put a mask on to go in the grocery store, man. Dude, everybody laid down, including me.
Yeah.
We laid down. Fact. Very, very little was actually done to resist any of that. And I don't want to discount what people, the few that maybe did something, but like wholesale, no one did crap. Part of it's apathy, lazy, but the psychology at work behind it all was, half this country will do whatever the crap Dr. Fauci says. And then the other half, Trump's going to go along with it. So they'll do it too. Even though they don't like the lockdown, why will they go along with it? Because they're not going to be told not to.
Yeah, it is interesting.
You're waiting on what you're waiting on what you're told.
I'm glad you went back to that specific time and place, because it's rarely, it's actually never discussed by the blind followers of this man.
And Corn
Trump.
talked about it 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, it's never freaking discussed, man. But what an awesome point. I mean, it gets down to the root of what I feel in me and why I'm so passionate about this. It's like, people don't understand or realize that they are being manipulated on a high level. And that's freaking sad, dude. Like, that's sad. I just want, if I can be the person who freaking shakes you out of that, like, if I can just do that for 1 or 2 people, like, I'm cool with losing subscribers on Instagram. Or YouTube or whatever. I'm cool with it, man. Like, when we started this, like, that was never our goal. Our goal is not to amass as many subscribers as we can. But the other phenomenon about this is, I can use the public platform that the Lord has given us, and I can come out and confront all sorts of issues. Like, I can come out and talk about all sorts of issues and be contrary to the populace. But with this, and everybody will relatively just whatever. Yeah, no, whatever. But when you poke this bear, it is unbelievable at the response. It's unparalleled. It's unparalleled by my Christian beliefs, by my moral beliefs, by my beliefs around our health and fitness, by any other thing that I come out and I poke the bear a little bit. It's all good. We can still be friends. But when you poke this, it does something to people. It's really a phenomenon.
These comments on this YouTube have been by far the harshest comments of any live we've ever done. So just to give credit to what you're saying here.
It's a prime example of the point that we're trying to make here.
Yeah.
And I don't know any other way to approach it than to just approach it the way I'm approaching it, like, objectively, as objectively as I possibly can. And by that meaning, if I see something that I'm like, oh, maybe I need to talk about that, I'm going to come to the people around me and I'm going to get a sanity check on what the crap. Am I understanding this right? And the guys that I'm surrounded by aren't going to just go along with me. They're going to freaking tell me if I'm like, no, you're not getting this right, man. So like, I have these buffers built into my life where I can get sanity checks on my perspectives to where it's not just my perspective. And I've just never, ever seen anything like this in since I've been in public life. I've never seen such a large group of people who will defend a person who wants to rule over them, will vehemently defend them, and literally, if you say anything contrary about him, it just explodes. I've never seen anything like it.
It's just it's perfect though. It's the only way to make the whole country do what you need it to do, because the whole country will never follow one person, but you can get half the country to follow them blindly and the other half to go against them blindly. And then when that person agrees with the other side, like Trump went along with everything that the mainstream media was saying. So one camp agrees fully with that and the other will fully with him. Well, they were in lockstep. So then the whole country's in lockstep.
Yeah.
They'll do what they need to do. That's how you do it. It'll never be one figure. It can be one figure that's totally divisive and then another faction comes up and then they just agree. Well, then everyone will agree. You got no choice. What do you do? It's perfect. It's how you get things like this done. It's why I think Trump will be the president again.
I think so too.
And it will usher in the next wave that everyone thinks he will stop. It will be to bring it in.
Yep. And what do you, Corn, you're old and wise.
I think on, like Chili said, the psychology about it. We've been split as a society into different pastures, and all of those pastures have cross fencing inside of them and different things. I think these Trump supporters are just as hardcore as the people on the left for gay rights and abortion and all this other. I think they're just as, and that's another thing, Trump supporter.
Yeah.
You know. That terminology.
Yeah.
I'm a Trump supporter. And all right, is everyone that's for Trump bad? Absolutely not. But they have passionate feelings that their guns are going to be taken away. They have passionate feelings that one side of the government thinks they're deplorable. It's what Hillary Clinton called them. They have passionate feelings that one day they're not going to be able to worship Christ because of the way things are going. And we all know that the majority of the time, feelings aren't fact. And I'm not saying those things won't be taken away or attempted to, but what's driving you is your feelings. That's not fact. And those people feel that, and I laid down during the lockdown too. You had 2 freaking years of your life taken away, and Big Daddy Trump was right there at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, but it's through a lot of passion, and anyone that steps in the line of getting their guns taken away or any of those things is going to get chopped down. The same thing happens on the left too. Yeah. I'm sure every time you've said something about gay marriage or abortion or other things, you lost followers or whatever it may be.
But it's nowhere close.
I completely understand that. But I think the main thing with this is the majority is silent. The majority has always been, well, I say always, the majority is on that side. So the reason on the right side, air quotes, the right side, the majority. So I believe it seems a lot more hardcore because that's where the majority of your listeners are too.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've been putting these pastures, and they got us exactly where they want us.
Yeah.
They got us exactly where they want us.
I just ain't been boxed into a pasture, but because I don't trust any politics, nor do I see any solution coming from politics. So I equally am I'm equally critical of them all. So I'm just roaming around the field, man, jumping fences, and it's like, yeah, I think maybe that really angers people when there's someone that won't fit in that pasture with you. You can't. What pasture's this joker supposed to be in? I ain't in none of your stinking pastures, man.
Yeah.
None of them. I don't like any of them. I don't like anything about our current government structurally as a whole. From the president on down. Don't like nothing about it. Everything about it detracts from my life. I love my country. I love them. I love the United States of America. I gave a large portion of my life to it. The best portion of my life, actually, my best years I gave to my country. But I despise the current structure of our government. I think it needs to be completely torn down to the very foundations. Personally. So, you got anything on this, Blake? You're sitting back there monitoring the comments, so maybe there's something we left out, or something that'll lead us into anything at all.
Well, no, there's all the comments are just well, a lot of people do agree with you, and then a lot of them on here are saying that Trump's done his part. All we're doing is sitting here whining about it, you know, and then you get those kind of comments, and so it's just clearly divided in the comments. Some are.
It's a great representation of what we're talking about.
Well, one thing I'll say too is I don't like how I willingly spoke about some of this, because I always want to be precise with my speech, and I do this often. First of all, the whole reason that you can't get fired up about comments. Like, I don't give a crap about that. But what I'm interested in it from an outsider's perspective is the psychology of it all.
Yeah.
And why this phenomenon is happening. And
it is interesting.
But even how I spoke about that is really not good, because you generalize and you say, oh, well, these people think this and these Trump supporters think this. Well, what does that even mean, Trump supporter? Like, does that mean everyone who voted for him, or does that mean everyone who's, like, you're talking about a specific type of person who is blindly following?
Yeah,
so basically I could talk about this and not even use the name Trump, because it's a blind follower. If you're a blind follower of anything, that's who I'm talking about. And that's just this example of Trump and the politics in America is that's you watched it play out in 2020. That's why I gave that example. And I also don't want to come across as being like, oh, well, these people think this and they're wrong and they're bad. And they're like, yeah, man, if here's the point. I have blind spots that I'm not even aware of, man. I'm a human being inundated with constant media messages and marketing. Am I affected in ways that I'm not aware of? Yes.
Yeah, because they're masters.
Yeah,
dude.
You are too, though. And why do you not recognize where you are? I don't know. But when you can kind of take a step back and look at, oh yeah, that's what's going on here. Critically think. You don't think everyone was attempted to be manipulated in the way that I just said? Why did that happen, man? People act like nothing will ever be agreed upon by everybody in the country. Like it can't happen. Everyone's too far apart. The sides are too far apart. I'll never get along and agree with someone who believes in murdering babies, abortion. I just won't do it. Right. Me neither. But guess what? We all did.
Yeah.
When we locked down. So that's what I'm talking about happened. And if you're a blind follower of anything, it's no different. I'm not particularly critical of freaking Donald Trump. It's just the example.
I love how you said you're more interested in the psychology of the phenomenon. I'm the same way, because watching it, seeing it in the way that I'm able to see it, or we're able to see it because we can reach so many people, seeing it is absolutely, again, just astounding, and it makes me interested. Like, how did this happen? And I don't, but I don't think it's I don't think it's unique though. I think that this phenomenon has happened many times in human history, even in recent human history, with leaders that rose to power, whether for good or bad. And so I'm sure there is a very specific equation to this that is being played out.
And it really is centered around cult worship. I truly believe that. I really do. It's like when we had a conversation the other day about people that put their identity in their diet.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's a rabid cult thing. I'm a vegan and dadgummit, it's my identity. And if you're not, you're a freaking piece of crap, morally worthless human being.
Yeah. Or I'm a meat eater.
Or I'm a straight up meat eater, and anything else is just you're a retard if you don't do it. Well, it's everything is looked at that way. And
yeah, it is.
Cult identity is all identity. It's where do you put your identity? Everything is competing for your identity, and it really doesn't matter what it is. It's diet for some people. Some people care more about their freaking diet than they do anything, the politics, anything, their family.
It is
anything.
who they are.
It's who they are. Some it's their politics. That's the main hit. Like, because it's Trump, the other side. It's abortion, not abortion. It's all this stuff. Climate change, or all that stupid, and we can just trash the environment. That's where you go as the reaction to the climate change. Yes, climate change is bullcrap, but what's the alternative? You just trash the earth? Well, no, I don't agree with that either. You can't be in the middle.
Well, I think you're on to it with the identity thing, because that's why people get so upset about it, because
it's their identity.
Anything that you identify with, when someone attacks it, you are going to defend it. And just like with the diet,
yep.
If you're vegan and someone comes up to you and tries to tell you why that's not good for you, you're going to get mad about it. And it goes, I mean, it's that way with everything. Whatever you find your identity in is who you are. And when someone attacks who you are, you're going to get mad about it.
But then what appears to be the solution to that?
It's a hard issue.
I know the solution. The solution is to identify in Christ.
Yeah, what did Blake just say? When people attack you, well, when you fully died to yourself and people attack your identity, you don't have an identity left. You don't have one. Yeah, you do, but it's not you. It's in Christ. What's being attacked then?
Yeah.
You're worried about your attack. Oh, people disagree with you? Who freaking cares what you or they think?
Mm-hmm.
It's not where your identity is. That's the problem.
I think that when you get down to I think that's the bedrock foundation of the problem.
Identity.
Yeah, and
where do you go when you're looking for an identity? You go to a cult. Any cult.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
For sure. Yeah, they're like it does lead to a tragedy when you have so many people who are just so hungry to be a part of something.
That's all it is.
That they will they will jump in and become a part of something irregardless of.
Bam. Because when you're not in a pasture, you're lost.
Yeah.
You don't have a side. I got to jump in one of them.
Yeah.
I'm like Chad running around in the middle here. I ain't got a pasture. That ain't going to work. It literally is a cult mindset. Like, you're safe in a cult, man. There's a lot of people there that will help you. There's a lot of other people that agree with you, and they'll fight for you, man. We all agree, and we're all safe together.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. You can't be in between on a political issue, because daggum, I'm lost. I'm exposed. I'm out in the open. There's no one to fight for me. There's no one that'll hold up a picket sign with me.
Yep. When did if any of y'all could answer this, when would you guys say that or was there a turning point in the United States of America when we began to remove God from aspects of our culture and society? Meaning schools, public places.
It's just a
businesses.
it's how everything is operated.
just
it's a slow
slowly.
fade.
Just slowly.
When I was in school, we still had what they called a moment of silence. It wasn't
Mhm.
called prayer,
Mm-hmm.
but it was called a moment of silence. And I think it was understood that that was prayer time, but they didn't call it prayer time. But I mean, but even then it had started to go away, right? You're calling it a moment of silence now to allow other people the opportunity to do whatever they want. with
Yeah,
their
I mean
time.
that gets into the separation of church and state.
Yeah.
It's always been a
But that's
interesting
one
issue.
thing, that sticks out in my mind. But even as recent as now, that would seem, if they did that in school today, it would seem foreign to the kids. They would say, "What do you mean
Radical.
a moment of silence?
a Mormon of silence.
What do you mean by that?" Like,
I
Yeah.
would hate to see what was happening in schools now.
Yeah,
I don't think they say the Pledge of Allegiance anymore.
I did growing up.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's just been a slow progression. Just thinking through me being born in the mid 70s, just watching and not saying this was the cause of it, that, watching how MTV got a little wilder. So things were more prevalent out in your face. Freaknik was happening in downtown Atlanta. I don't know if y'all remember
Oh, yeah.
Freaknik. That was a wild event, dude. Just society, it just sort of eases in, man.
Yep.
Just eases in,
Yep.
just left and right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, really insightful topics for me. I appreciate everything that each of you brought to the table. Yeah, and that's it. It all again ties into the root of concern that I have for just the people that we're all sharing this landmass here together. It's like, dude, just think for your freaking self, man, and start striving for personal excellence in every aspect of your own life, in every area that you can control. And the bedrock foundation of it all is what we just ended with in terms of identity. That's the bedrock of it all.
when people tried, they tried to attack, then they try to attack your identity because they're mad, and
Yeah.
and then they say,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna unsubscribe from you." There's several in here that said, "I've lost respect for you," and it's
Yeah.
like, that's okay.
Well, yeah, of course
that
it is.
doesn't. I mean, it doesn't stir up emotion in me. It doesn't make me want to attack you. It's like, that's okay. That's fine. You can unsubscribe. You don't have to respect me. You don't have to agree with me, or you don't have to listen to the podcast anymore. You don't have to do any of that
All
stuff.
right, yeah.
That's okay.
That's actually a beautiful thing.
Yeah. But when you say that about, that just shows you where the problem lies. When you say that about Trump and they're all stirred up and worked up and they get prideful about it, and that's where their identity is. That's all they have to cling to. That's that their hope is in that one man, and if he doesn't have, they've got to get him in at all cost in their mind,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
else they're going to just perish.
Oof. Man, oh man.
Well, anyway, we're ready for the bloodbath.
Yes, sir.
Little Virgil never would call,
What the crap?
but
you
I
what.
will say,
Tell you what, LV, we sure are looking forward to hearing from you.
it's quite impressive that 650 people got Chad's personal number and only one turd called it, but he didn't even have the gonads to let the phone. As soon as we went to answer, they hung up. And so then we got a couple text messages.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, but
Well, good.
Well, good.
I
Yeah,
can't
we never
believe
said
that
you can't text message. You can text
That
it.
is true.
Those
You can
people
text it all
must
you
really
want.
be scared of Chad because he said it was going to be bad. And look, here we got one coming
well,
in
go
from
ahead.
Kansas.
Let's get one answer.
We got somebody from Kansas. Must be a good dude. Hello.
Hey, this LV.
Little Virgil, what is up, brother?
You better not trust it.
What's going on?
Is
What's
this
going
the-
on?
is this-
37?
Is this the real LV?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
It's the real one. It's on my driver's license. LV, baby.
Holy smokes. We are so honored to be talking to you right now, Little Virgil. And
Man,
dude,
honor's all mine.
how's your day going, brother? What you up to?
So far, so good. Just out here working a little bit. Take me a little pit stop to call in real quick.
That's outstanding. What do you mind sharing with us? A little bit about yourself? What you do for a living, LV?
Yeah. No problem. I work in the oil field. You know, been doing this for about 10 years. Got myself a beautiful little family. Got myself a good relationship with the Lord. That's why I love listening to you guys' podcast so much, because there's a huge emphasis on that. And I try to get that as much as I can, because there isn't very many like-minded individuals out here these days.
Man, that's outstanding, Little Virgil. Thank you for sharing that with us, man. And let me tell you, dude, you've become a big part of the show. In case you don't know, we talk about you all the time, LV. I mean, not just on the show. We talk about you all the time. We were talking about you this morning around the breakfast table. And I just want to tell you, man, how much we appreciate you for being here, for listening, for chiming in, for just supporting everything that we do here at 307 Project. And do you have any commentary on the subject matter today, LV? I want to give you some time on the show if you got anything you want to say about the stuff we've been talking about today.
Yeah, about the Trump thing, you mean?
Yeah, just anything in general that we've been talking about.
Yeah. I listen to you, Andy Stump.
Andy's a good dude. Andy is a good dude. What an awesome guy to look up to. I look up to Andy Stump.
Right. And I think you guys know a lot more behind the scenes than you actually put off. I know you guys kind of got to be careful and tiptoe about what you actually say about what you know. And I think it's like the same thing especially like with Trump. I mean, they got a bunch of people behind the scenes, and I think you guys drop little nuggets that if you have ears that hear and eyes that see, you can kind of pick up on some of that stuff. And so, you know, like when I was reading in the Word the other day, when the Lord used the word, He said, "Preach the gospel to every living creature." And I thought that was just kind of interesting. So I went into the dictionary and looked up the definition, the real definition of the word creature, because if you Google it, it won't give you the real definition. One of the third lines on that was a serval dependent of one that control, you know, so it's just like a perfect word to use. And I think, you know, like when Trump used the word bloodbath, you know, it was kind of a blanket statement of, you know, we're in some trouble right now in this country. And I know he knows that. I know everybody knows that. And I think that was kind of just like a little peephole into, you know, kind of maybe what's to come.
I like that, LV. Man, I appreciate you adding to the conversation, man. And I know my man Chili wants to say hey to you. Chili, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Little Virgil, you're a legend, man. That's all I want you to know. You're a legend.
Man, you guys are the legends, man. You guys are the legends.
Well, you're the first live call-in ever to the 307 podcast. So
yeah, that's legit, dude. First live caller ever on the podcast.
Moment in history, man. What number is this? That way I write it down, come back, you know.
Dude, I don't even know what we're at. When I upload it to audio here in a little bit, I'll put the number down. It's in the mid 300s. I know that much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, LV, if you somehow we need to contact you, you need to text this number and let us know what you want from our store, man. We want to send you something.
Hell yeah.
You just let us know.
I've been trying to find hoist. Ain't nobody got it out here, man. I went to GNC, all them places. Ain't nobody got hoist.
Well, dad bum. Allie's in here. She better get it to Kansas,
yeah,
huh?
We might be able to take care of that for you, Little Virgil. Just text this number, get us over your contact information, and we'll get some stuff sent out to you, brother.
Right on. Appreciate you guys. God bless you, man. And Blake, I'll be praying for you and your heart. I know Chad got some heart issues. Corn does. I actually do keep you guys in my prayers. So I'll be adding Blake to the list.
Well, we appreciate that, Little Virgil.
Yeah, we love you, brother. We'll I hope we talk to you again sometime soon, man. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey, you guys too. God bless.
You too, LV.
See ya.
See.
All right. That was pretty awesome, man. That was pretty awesome. That was the real LV, son.
The legend called in.
Bringing it in. Legendary. First live call ever on the 307 podcast. And me and Chili want to let you guys know that potentially in the future, we might do an extra segment, when we feel like it, maybe once a month or something. And we might do a live call-in segment here for you guys.
We've got another caller.
We ain't taking that. This ain't a live call
Well,
right
what
here.
if it's MJT
No.
or MT whatever?
Y'all, look, I
MTG.
told y'all if it was Marjorie Taylor, I didn't even think about that. It could have been Marjorie Taylor Greene.
It's still calling.
Yeah,
Answer it. See if it's Marjorie Taylor. If it
I'm
ain't,
about to
shut
get
it off.
pissed.
If it ain't,
It's
shut it
on.
off. Hello, is this Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Is that chili?
Oh, shut it off. Shut it off. That was not Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Come on, man.
I told you guys it was if you're not Little Virgil or Marjorie Taylor Greene, I told you not to call in.
Oh,
Look.
man, it's bad.
Jeez.
I'm trying to be nice here, man. I'm telling you that me and Chili, maybe even next week, we might do a live call-in show for you guys.
Yep.
One evening. You can call in then, but freaking LV and Marjorie Taylor Greene were the only people supposed to call in now. Y'all just can't play by the dang rules, man.
Now you're gonna have to get your number changed.
Hold on.
Nah.
I got this. You guys know we like when the viewers send us in stuff. I got this right here, man, and I haven't even opened it up yet. But we're going to open this for you live on the show right here.
But while you're opening that, I just wanted to give it. I've been wearing mine the whole day. See that wooden sign back there?
Yeah.
That's Big Country Woodwork, son. Dom from First Form.
Yeah.
Out at the race. He sent me this hat. Look at that.
That's
Look at that.
legit, man. That almost looks like this Mossy Oak Bottomland green.
Let her rip, son.
Well, this right here
love
is
this
from Independence Woodcraft.
All right.
So y'all talk while I open this up.
Well, I was trying, and then you stopped opening.
Okay.
I don't really know why you did that.
Here's that. All right. This is Independence Woodcraft. John. This is John from Independence Woodcraft.
All right.
Sweet.
I have a feeling this is going to be something pretty sweet.
Oh yeah.
Let me tear into this, baby. Oh, yeah.
Looks like a
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Fun.
little Gadsden
Look
flag.
at there.
Nice.
That's pretty
Son,
dang
that's
sweet
legit
too.
right there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is legit. Daggone. Thank you, John.
You know, we got some.
That's a work of art right
We
there.
got a lot of free space over here behind me and Corn. You know.
Look at the way he textured it along all the edges.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That's pretty cool.
Will you guys get this on the wall?
Yeah, man.
All right. When we log off here, I want you guys to get this on the wall, man.
All right.
Man, that is freaking sweet.
Yeah, it is.
Try not to unplug Blake's computer over here.
I love me a good Gadsden flag. Now your sign back there is all crooked now.
Yeah, I know, man. It's I don't have a lot of space in here. While we're at it, this episode is brought to you by our partners at Hoist. Where'd my hoist go?
It's on the right side under your chair.